Take a look around the passenger terminals at Chicago's O'Hare and Midway airports and you will see what appear to be police officers. But take a closer look. Not one of them is carrying a gun. In the event of an active shooter or a terrorist strike here, you might be surprised to hear how they've been told to react. Not fight back, not try to neutralize the threat, but instead to run.
You guys are police officers, but you don't have guns. You're unarmed. Do you feel safe when you're working?
No, sir. Not safe at all.
Absolutely not.
Do you feel almost as if you're a sitting target?
Absolutely.
It's not for lack of training or licensing or experience. Aviation police officers are all sworn officers in the state of Illinois. They get the same training as Chicago police, and many are military veterans or have second jobs in suburban police departments. These two officers, speaking in silhouette for fear of being fired, say all they want is to carry a gun like any other law enforcement officer. Just 2 years ago at Los Angeles International Airport, a man with an assault rifle killed a TSA officer, wounded several others, before being shot and wounded by an armed police officer. If the same event took place in Chicago's two airports, the nearly 300 unarmed aviation police would be defenseless to stop it.
So in the event of let's say it's a terrorist attack, let's say it's a shooter, what are you supposed to do?
Run.
Run.
Hide
Hide?
and seek shelter.
This internal Chicago Aviation Department document obtained from Aviation Department sources outlines the policy. If evacuation is not possible, hide. We must also ensure that unarmed security personnel do not attempt to become part of the response. Here's the training video. Officers say they were instructed to watch.
If evacuation is not possible, you should find a place to hide where the active shooter is less likely to find you. Block entry to your hiding place and lock the doors.
We are nothing but casualties if you tell us to run and hide. And how can the public look at us if they see police officers running and hiding? That goes against the very oath that we were sworn to, that we took.
It's the Chicago police who carry guns at both airports since they are the primary law enforcement agency. If there's a major incident or an arrest, aviation police tell us they must wait for Chicago police to show up, a unique arrangement among major U.S. airports.
It doesn't make any sense.
Matt Brandon is an official with the union that represents aviation police officers.
So basically they're just, no disrespect to those officers, but as their role at the airport, they're glorified security guards.
That's exactly right. And my question to the city is, you send these men and women to the Chicago Police Academy to be trained as police officers, to be able to respond as police officers, to be able to act as police officers.
The Chicago Police Department has 231 armed officers assigned to O'Hare and Midway, and the city says that's enough. So too does the Chicago Aviation Department about its unarmed force. And the staffing level of armed police is, for the most part, similar to other major U.S. airports. If you compare the top 3 busiest airports in the U.S., Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson has 178 armed police. Los Angeles, 572, while O'Hare has budgeted 175. The numbers do not include additional security, such as private security personnel. In an email to CNN, the Aviation Department says the multi-level security has proven effective in stopping and preventing crime, and that violent crime incidents are extremely low. But there's been no explanation why the nearly 300 aviation police officers here are unarmed. The department is declining to discuss security measures. CNN has surveyed large U.S. airports and found Chicago's use of unarmed aviation police officers is unique, and according to Miami security expert Wayne Black, absurd.
You've got sworn law enforcement officers at a U.S. airport that are trained to hide if there's an attack. It's crazy. Airports are targets of terror activity. What are they going to do if somebody runs in with a gun and there's no law enforcement officer there?
In October, a man caught with these knives attempted to get on the airfield and actually told the officers he knew they were not even armed. The gun issue has been part of an ongoing dispute between the officers and their chief, Richard Edgeworth. Chicago's aviation police recently took a no-confidence vote against Edgeworth, calling him incompetent and someone who exerts control through intimidation and fear. Despite the vote, Edgeworth's boss says he has the full confidence and trust of the Aviation Department. Edgeworth has repeatedly refused to even answer numerous phone calls from CNN, and when we approached him to ask our questions, he did what his officers are supposed to do if anyone approaches them armed.
Excuse me. Hi, Chief Edgeworth. Drew Griffin with CNN.
Oh, how are you?
Good to see you. We wanted to ask you why your officers aren't armed. Why they're the only aviation police officers in the United States that apparently are not armed. Wouldn't the public be better protected if they were armed and were able to engage a threat instead of having to run and hide?